Kaiticlysm is the originator of the Danky Jabbo allegations. Danky Jabbo being a medium-sized commentary creator that covers primarily TikTok stuff. Anyway, Katie went on a live stream and accused Danky of a bunch of things, basically saying that he was a domestic abuse apologist. This spirals out of control, and this ginger guy called Lewis McClung makes a video on it, which ultimately sends these allegations into the stratosphere. It ended up getting litigated online as people argued back and forth, and ultimately, Lewis apologized, and Katie didn't. Katie actually doubled down, girl bossed around it, and continued her career like normal. Anyway, catching up with Katie, let's see what she's been up to. I will not mock her unless this story is absolutely outrageous, but I haven't watched it yet, so we'll see what it is.
I'm angry, and I'm angry, and I wasn't going to do this video.
This is one of those things where it's like, I know way too much about somebody's personal domestic abuse than I should.
But some things have happened in my personal life recently which have really irritated me. And honestly, not to be cliche and cringe, but I genuinely refuse to stay quiet about this because it's just...
Katie, you haven't stayed quiet about this. There's no reason for me to know this. I think it's inappropriate that you apply and have applied these kind of experiences to dramas on the internet that have no bearing on this whatsoever. You know, from what I've heard, the guy that did those things to you sounds like a terrible person, and I can admit that. But you can't, like, I'm mad, and then take it out on the world, dude. That's not healthy, man. You gotta love yourself, man. You gotta fucking learn that things happen. And now things will happen again in the future, but you're not that person that you were then, and you can have a better life now.
And for a lot of people, they won't care. For a lot of you watching, you're going to be like, oh, here we go, Katie, she's having another online rant. If you're not bothered, please just click off. But for those who are maybe in a similar situation to me, keep listening.
She's not wearing a bra. I wasn't going to point it out, so I'm glad somebody in chat did, but...
It may be of some help to you. But you guys may remember I did a video a while back about my abusive relationship, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made for some reasons and one of the worst I ever made for others. Got a chewing gum.
I mean, yeah, I'm also not wearing a bra, just, you know...
I was so over the moon with the response I got. I was so happy with the people that I helped. And I want nothing more, if I'm ever known for anything, than to be known for, I guess, giving
Diesel
women...
put one on. I don't need to put one on. It's 2025. Okay, it's 2025. I don't need to put one on. Everybody say free to nipple until it comes to mine. That's crazy. Let's talk about double standards. Diesel, do you trust girls with tattoos between their booba? I mean, I don't trust them, but like... I'm so down for that, dude.
Thing than to be known for, I guess, giving women the courage to speak up and also recognize...
I gotta listen. I understand, like, you know, talking about abuse in a public platform can give other people the strength to talk about it to people who need it. But there's something, and I truly do believe it's fundamentally different to talk about abuse with a therapist or the people that you love and love you in your life, and to talk about it to the internet, right? I think, you know, when we talk about it and bring these things online, that it could be really negative.
And signs and patterns of abuse, because although I'm a commentary YouTuber, honestly, I care about nothing more than women having... and
the Hello Kitty posters is a red flag numero
men having the freedom to leave abusive relationships, and also recognizing that abusive relationships aren't just throwing punches and, you know, being literally beaten to the ground. So yeah, as you can tell, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, so it's not that I haven't thought about it, but I'm irritated because of some stuff that's been happening, and I thought, what better time than now to come and talk about it? So I did that video, and it got received absolutely insanely. And now, if you guys haven't seen...
But whenever somebody gets on the internet, and let's say it's between two, like a creator and then like a person, right? Somebody comes out and they give a story on a creator, and they're like, this abuse happened, right? Everybody believes them, everybody claps. And then like a few weeks pass, and then a creator responds in a video, and it's a complete blowout. And it turns out, oh, it was actually a mutually toxic situation, blah, blah, blah. And both the people have some growing to do. Or like maybe the person's crazy and they lied the entire time, right? And it's just like, it's great that we give so much positivity, but I really, The internet is not a diary, and I think it's okay for us not to share everything with the public. You tell us everything and don't wash up. I've been washing my hands religiously for a long time now, chat. Okay. I was watching Diorio retweeted some clips of Connor Eats Pants malding about the George Not Found allegations, right? Because Katie Bugs was less than genuine about her allegations. And he was really fucking pressed about that. And it's just like, bro, sometimes people get on the internet and lie, and sometimes you think those people are trustworthy, okay? Like, I was there. It happened, right? The Slazo stuff. I talk about the Che girl. I've talked about that. That motherfucking Che girl was like a friend to my friends. Not my friend. I didn't know her, right? But, like, people trusted her, and she took them for a ride, and then when it came around and it bit her in the ass, she fucked off. Where's Katie Bugs been? Gone. But it was just an uncharitable take from Connor Eats Pants. Not surprised, though. Unfortunately, Turkey Tom has the incredible responsibility of having been 16 when he said the N-word.
In it, this may give you a little bit more context, but I encourage you to go watch it. If especially you are experiencing a toxic, not great relationship, please do go and watch it. Though I did have an amazing reaction to that video, I'm also, since posting that, I've had quite a few crazy, weird experiences. So the person who I did the video about,
Yojin, yeah,
no longer does social media. They deleted all their accounts, and you know what? I wouldn't even want people to know who he is or to.
What happened with Punk Duck again? She domestically abused Punk Duck. That is basically the gist of it. Yeah, it was a really toxic relationship. I'm not surprised. I think in hindsight, I definitely should have caught that, right? Because of that, Turkey Tom unlisted and then deleted the video he made on her. As a result, people forgot about her until the Punk Duck stuff. When a commentary channel makes a video on someone, you realize that there is a possible real world effect that video is going to have, right? There are plenty of videos I made in the past where, like, I make that video on someone, they could, like, kill themselves. That's completely possible, dude. I think if Tom made that call in the moment to get rid of the video, I think that's completely fine. Right? And then the stuff with Punk Duck, then we could talk about it. Right? But, like, if Turkey Tom puts out a video on Hyojin, obviously Turkey Tom's fans are going to go harass her. That's going to happen. Okay? Everybody says, don't go harass this person at the beginning of their video. But there's like 1,000,000,001 fucking morons on the internet. Are you surprised? I can tell you that I got harassed when the Slazo stuff happened, and I didn't say anything, okay? I was just friends with the people, and I had to answer for it.
Find who he is. I don't want to give him that level of attention. He just doesn't deserve his name even being mentioned. But
yeah, harassment happens no matter what, right? A lot of it, there was plenty of harassment that was directed at both Kaiticlysm and Lewis. Right? Regardless of how justified the criticism is, I guarantee you that there were like 10, 20, 50, 100 people that are like, fuck you, kill yourself, bitch. Fuck you, you deserve to be hit in the face. But, like, Jesus Christ, could you imagine being like 19 and like 100 people are like, I'm coming to kill you? Like, because that's what it was.
Level of attention. He just doesn't deserve his name even being mentioned. But he deleted even more of his accounts since, and his ex.
Shit's probably terrifying. Yeah, but I think as you grow up, you learn that it, like, these people wouldn't act out on it. But that's just the reality of it, right? Like, I understand that, like somebody attempts, and it's like that changes the vibe, right? That changes the vibe. If you're not a piece of shit, that changes the vibe. If you literally don't give a fuck, I could understand why you wouldn't, like, take the video down. But if you're a normal fucking person, which as far as I know, Tom is a normal fucking person, right? I've had nothing but good interactions with him, right? I think it was fine for him to take it down in a moment.
Girlfriend, his new ex-girlfriend, actually contacted me to say that he has been behaving very strangely with her, has actually threatened to kill himself multiple times when she tried to leave, and in general has had this extreme obsession with me and my YouTube for pretty much the entire time we haven't been together, searching me, stalking my every move. This was before I even made the video about my abusive relationship.
I gotta be honest, there's something really not to 1984 posts or anything, but there is something absolutely outrageous by using like censor words, censoring words on your video talking candidly about abuse. Isn't that just insane? I just find that outrageous. Like, like if somebody like we talk about SA, right? We say SA now instead of sexual assault. Like that's what it is. But we SA I get because it shortens the word, right? But censoring abuse, abuse, one syllable. But we're censoring it. It's very like crazy, man. I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, well, she needs the green dollar sign. I get that, but like, man, that's rough, dude. I don't like that.
But yeah, pretty much find out all this crazy shit, find out that he's mistreated this another girl, and some of the stuff she told me.
And there's something to I don't know what the correct way to handle this is, right? Because I've seen this in two ways before, right? So social repose, a lot of the exes started comparing notes together to find out that he was like dating many of them at the same time, right? And it all came crashing down. And so because they had ended up talking to each other because the relationships got really toxic and social repose wasn't great. It's just, do you need to be the person who like becomes the arbiter for stopping some like domestic abuser, right? It's good to like direct people to the support, but like now she's not telling her story, she's speaking on behalf of another woman, and it's just like I don't know how much of that she should be doing. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a huge Katie fan, but what you can be is a Diesel IRL fan by hitting the subscribe button and bell and joining these conversations live as I stream here weekly on the channel. So make sure to come check it out.
It was absolutely wild about what his excuses were, basically, for the stuff that he did to me. Long story short, both of them saw my video that I made about them, but about him, and he was very annoyed and he really didn't want her to watch it. I wonder why. He basically begged her and begged her. He offered to buy her stuff. He offered to buy her expensive gifts. I'm talking like really expensive things.
It's like at some point it's just like you're not in that relationship, but like I get, being supportive of like the woman who might want to leave, but now you're like doing another video, like you're just doing a video on your ex. Like you're just doing a video on your ex.
Like he took her on holidays. He paid for things. He bought her like Vivian Westwood jewelry, like loads of expensive stuff. Now she's a lovely girl. I've spoke to her multiple times, and I really do appreciate her reaching out to me and telling me all this information. So on top of him basically saying, oh, don't watch that video, babe, please don't watch that video. Obviously she did. They had multiple conversations about it and multiple arguments where he basically admitted to raping me. He admitted to...
You can have your video about your experience. You are now telling the story of the experience of another woman. I can't tell you not to do that, but like, brother.
me because his excuse was that he knew that I liked it rough.
You need to separate yourself from your ex. You're not in a relationship with him anymore, but like, you need to separate yourself from your abuser, period. I understand you might feel a personal responsibility to other women, but like you're gonna be stuck doing this until he gets charges pressed on him. And it could be years of you listening to this. I can't, like, that is what your life is gonna be now. Is that something you want to do? Because there's like a job for that, right? And then on top of that, like, if you care, listen, if you care about somebody's rights or like some particular social issue, go into social work. Go into social work. I don't know what it's like in the UK for that. I'm certain they have social workers for that specific field. Do it. Be an advocate for women. Do it professionally. Okay? Because I'll tell you right now, I guarantee you, one, the pay is probably bad, but two, they could probably use more people. Do it. You'll make an actual difference in people in your community. Crazy idea.
And also, the second excuse he came out with was, well, She woke up during it, so like it's not, you know, which is the most insane thing to hear. Like,
oh my god, dude, this is, oh my god, oversharing central.
I was already struggling before. It's helped me because I know that I know now that he knows what he's done wrong, and
but Diesel virtue signaling is way easier. Dude, I don't like, one of the things that like doing social work has taught me is just how fucking difficult it is. Just how fucking difficult it is to actually make actionable difference, because there's so many hurdles in the way, right? You work for a nonprofit. Oh, the board of directors want this. Your people need this. The people who donate money want this, right? The heads of departments want this, and they all want different things, right? So ultimately, it becomes very difficult to provide services to the people who need it. Right? Or better yet, right? Let's say you live in a place where a lot of services don't get funding. All of a sudden, oh, damn, now nobody gets services and everybody's shit out of luck.
There's no denying that. It's also nice to have an admission of guilt, because I was struggling for a really long time thinking that maybe I you know, made something up in my head, or I blew it up to be something.
Oh, honey, you need therapy. Oh my God, this girl needs help. Oh, fuck.
Quieting down about it. As you'll see if you follow my TikTok, I post a lot of TikToks now talking about it.
Stop talking about it. And this isn't to be like, and this isn't to like, you know, sweep for your abuser, but this is for you. This is for you, right? Here's why you stop talking about it, right? You're going to keep reliving your trauma every time you speak as an advocate for it through social media, okay? Because you're getting nothing but the most extreme people who don't interact in real life. Please, I'm begging you. There are probably women in your local community who would love someone to be a positive role model for them. Go do that.
But I really feel like, especially in this day and age, me not talking about it is not only going to drive me insane, but also is...
Talk about it to your therapist. This girl, mental illness.
Going to make men like that, disgusting little toads like that, think that women will just be silenced because what? Because you're intimidating? Because you have money?
This is, oh my God. I probably don't even need this guy's name based off of Kaiticlysm's ex-boyfriend. Has money, loaded man. I could probably find out who this is, right? Like, it just, like, she's not naming names, but like, do we really need to name names to narrow down the person now? Like, at that rate, you might as well just say it.
Because you're a man.
She dated Elon Musk.
Man. No, babes. And it's even better when I post videos like this because I know he's watching. And I also wanted to use this opportunity to talk about Clare's Law. A woman was tragically murdered by her partner a while back, hence why Clare's Law. So they basically open this thing, which means you can report things without fully making a actual report, if that kind of makes sense. It just means there is a record down about the person. There is a record there to say that this person has a history. And I've been in a position recently where I'm like, yeah, this is something that more people need to know about. I'm genuinely scared.
So you can report it. Have you reported it?
The moment for this person.
Which, by the way, this is like a very UK specific thing. I'm sure there's a United States equivalent of that, but like...
I think this person's going to get worse and worse based off of what he went on to do to his next girlfriend.
You know, you remember when she was talking about the Danky Jabbo stuff, and she was like, the stuff Danky's doing now, I think he's going to get worse and worse. This is a very interesting parallel, if you remember that, chat. She was like, he's being bad now, but he'll be worse later.
And I'm truly, truly terrified that one day there's going to be something in the newspaper.
I love Rage Against the Machine posters surrounded by evidence of rampant consumerism. So edgy. Well, whatever. Fucking being punk is a complete pastiche, all right? We live in a society that is, you know, way past post late stage capitalism. Yada yada yada. Punk is dead. Long live the idea of being punk. Right? Whatever. Who gives a shit? This poster, the Hello Kitty one with the grills, though, that one, that one's kind of serving. I'm not gonna lie.
paper, and if I haven't reported this to the police, then I'll feel partly responsible for...
So I don't know if you should be the one to report another woman's story to the police. I think if you wanted to report your own stuff to the police, that's fine. Okay? Like, I don't like go do that, but don't do it on behalf of the other person. That's not fair to them.
You know, not putting someone to shame, you know? And it's stupid, yeah, because I'm sat here making this video after all the times I've heard him say he'll kill himself if he thinks people... He'll kill himself if people think he's a racist. He'll kill himself...
Are you kidding me, man? Why would you send me this? I actually wanted to put this into a post because I had so many lovely messages about my gym progress and it means so much to me. I really don't talk about it too much. I'm actually still in ED recovery. Girls, don't share everything with the internet, as are many of my friends. Jesus Christ. Around 16, I began to lose weight, relatively healthy, until I got into a relationship with someone who would constantly check out other women in person and online, and it made me hate myself, so I started dieting even harder. Oh my god, get this woman in therapy. Oh my god, dude. I think a lot of people, and I know this happens, right? And I know I struggle with it myself, right? But that's not your fucking business to know about. But like a lot of people use the gym as like a supplement towards their eating disorder, but it's ultimately like just as like it's an unhealthy obsession with like fitness, right? Like I think it's great to get absolutely shredded and jacked, but I know a lot of shredded and jacked guys who like struggle with their body image, right? Because at first it was like, oh, they grew up as like a fat teenager, right? And then they started going to the fucking gym. And now they got, you know, the terms like bigorexia, right? That's not like the appropriate term, but that's like what you hear a lot. Diesel, the correct term is eating disorder and body dysmorphia. Yeah, but bigorexia sounds better.
If people think he's an abuser, never, I'm not a racist, never, I'm not an abuser, or always, I don't want people to think that I'm that. Insane. And I'm just sick of people, you know, men and women, thinking that, you know, they're a victim for being perceived as a certain way. My motto is, if you don't want people to think you're something, then don't be that thing. Yeah.
This girl is going to be in such a bad drama one day that she will not survive, right?
You know, and look, I'm not perfect. Something that I found really funny that he tried to excuse
I'm not perfect.
himself out of like all the things that I've been talking about.
Stop calling yourself old, for fuck's sakes. I'm old. I'm sorry, Chad. I'm old. Maybe I'm old in soul, okay? Because I don't fucking feel 27. My back hurts. I'm so tired. I get tired. I'm tired now, okay? Grandpa needs to sleep, okay?
About is that he turned around to his ex and said, well, look, she's been cancelled recently. She's had controversy.
Are you an old Zoomer, Diesel, or a millennial? I'm an old Zoomer. If I didn't switch to film school, I would have graduated college by the time pandemic happened, just for reference.
As a ploy to convince her that I lie about my experiences. Now, I know previously when I've come online, I've been quite naive in the way that I have approached things when it comes.
Yes, you're still naive, actually. You're still naive, actually.
To talking about other people. For example, I've took things quite personally in the past when it comes to situations, I guess, that I've projected my own opinions onto.
Guys, I think we're beating around the bush for the Denki Jabo situation. The problem is that she wasn't able to admit that she did something wrong, right? Like this would be an easier conversation to have, and I'd be a lot. And I think I've been pretty charitable with Katie right now, right? Because I don't want to disparage her experiences because I think that's fucked up. But like, I definitely see like. She inputs her personal beliefs on things, and she realizes that what she did with Denki Jabo is wrong, but she is not being adult enough to admit that she did something wrong, right? And you'll say that, oh, she did an apology. No, she didn't. That wasn't an apology.
For example, my controversy, and it made me...
My controversy, this girl. See, her inability to talk about it candidly and with a level of sincerity shows you that she is not happy about the situation still, right? She'll talk about her domestic abuse, but she will not talk about the Danky Jabbo stuff with the level of sincerity. Okay? I think that's very telling to her content of character.
Realized that, like, the reason I was...
And I'm mad. I'm mad about what's happened with this, right? Because Lewis has taken accountability. He's trying to do better. He's asked for advice on how to do better. He's asked what he needs to do in order to improve as a person. And he sat there and gone, okay, and not given any lip about it. All right. But this girl not only didn't apologize, she felt she was justified still, continued to make the same content she made, and got rewarded for it. Literally apologizing fucked Lewis's career. She got off scot-free by not apologizing and being an asshole. What kind of lesson does that teach, chat? What kind of fucking lesson does that teach? Oh, if you're a person who admits your faults and tries to do better, you will be reprimanded for it and you will suffer for it. Or you can lie, be a girl boss, and just fucking win.
Kind of suffering for so long is because I was being as quiet and as polite about this whole situation. I'm like, why should victims be quiet? Why should victims be polite? Why should we consider whatever the fuck it is?
I don't want to say it because she's a woman, but yeah. And then the other obvious one is like, yeah, girl boss good, right? But it's like, perhaps being an alternative woman on the internet with tattoos and bangs and Hello Kitty is great for the career because guys cannot help but fixate on women who they can't fix.
That these abusive, horrible, cretin pieces of shit, you know, why do we have to care and adhere to what they want? Why am I, like, in fear that I'm going to say something that upsets him? Why do I...
See, god damn, this is so personal for her to be doing.
I feel that way as a victim. And...
You're wrong, Diesel. I can fix her.
I never usually call myself a victim. I struggle to say that. But having your fucking abuser admit that they fucking abused you, admit that they raped you, but...
Should we start calling this the Lex phenotype? Yeah, I think this is a person. I feel like there's a platonic ideal. Like if Plato was a Zoomer, he would have invented this person. Or was it Socrates or Plato, the platonic? No, that's Plato. What am I, stupid? Guys, I went to art school. I should know better. I need to stop doing that. I'm playing into the bit.
Say to their new girlfriend, now ex, that, oh, babe, I would never do that to you because you let me do this, you let me do that, is a really horrible thing to see somebody say, because now I know that the stuff that you put me through, the abuse that you put me through, you could have, not done? You could have just not done that. Why did I get that? Why did I walk away with these...
Listen, Kat, I'm tired. I'm tired, Kat, okay?
years of trauma. But one thing is that having them admit what they did is a bittersweet situation, I guess. Thank you for admitting what you did to somebody else's face in order to get them back in a desperate plea. But also, don't be...
Do you guys have your own law now too? What's Ops law? Tell me, what is Ops law?
surprised when
We know Diesel's law, but what's Ops law? If you have bangs and Hello Kitty, you are the Lex.
talk about it. And I don't want to name names. I'm not naming names, and I won't name names because I don't give a fuck to, okay? Like, in the politest way possible, he is a nobody.
If he's a nobody, this isn't our business, dude. You're just sharing the business of some townies. You're telling the story of another woman, man. That's not... I don't know, man.
You know, not because of numbers, he is just a nobody.
The longer a drama continues, the higher the chance that Jake or Alex will be included in the drama.
And something that really hurts me and really upsets me is when my great-grandma was dying of cancer.
Oh my god, girl. You cannot be serious.
She knew everything that he had put me through. We had loads of conversations about it, and she died knowing that the last thing she knew was that I was with him. And I wish...
Oh my god, that's okay. Your grandma loved you. That didn't matter to her. Your great-grandma loved you, bro. You didn't... She knew that you'd be okay. Don't stop proving her wrong.
She was here to see the fact that I didn't stay with someone because she,
Oh my God, this girl is so mentally unwell.
she had relationship problems in her life, and I just
Yeah, well, everybody's gonna have relationship problems in their life. That's life. I've never had a relationship that was perfect, you know? Fuck, I've had ones that are worse or better than others, but like, that's life. I'm sorry those things happened to you, but like, of course your grandma had relationship problems. She lived a long time. She was your great grandma. Yeah, guys. New gay meta just dropped. Hold on, we need to bring out the fruit. There we go. Hit the goal. Now, if you guys hear me out, send 5 more. You'll get more fruit. But only if you're good, of course, you know.
I just hate the fact that her last memory of me was that I was with this absolute fucking horrible cunt. Anyway, anecdote.
Your great grandmother didn't care about that because she loved you. God damn, these Zoomers need to go find a third place, man. You live in a place with public transit. Go out to the pub. Go bowling. Go rollerblading with the kids. And by kids, I mean people in their early 20s. There we go. There we go. There we go. You see that? That's a third place. You need to do that.
Over. You may be thinking, Katie, this is a really like angry random rant, okay?
It is.
And yeah, it is.
Oh, well, you know, at least we agree on something.
But I'm just annoyed and I want to be transparent because I as much as people think you shouldn't overshare on the internet, I'm
This is completely unsolicited. That's why it's oversharing.
past that. I'm past oversharing, all right? Everything about me is online. My mistakes, my good things, my bad things.
Actually, not all your mistakes are online because somebody deleted their stream where they accused Danky Jabbo of being a domestic abuser.
For me is that you guys, men and women sat at home, don't be fucking silenced by people that have done you.
I would bet you dollars to donuts that if a man came out to talk about his domestic abuse, that this lady would not believe it. I don't think she would discredit it. I think she would say mean things about it. I think she would be very uncharitable if a man was like, I was abused.
Terribly. Don't be quiet about things. Don't not go to the police because you're overthinking. Or what if, you know, just do what you know.
Which also, by the way, if you want to talk about it from the male perspective, could you imagine, dude, if a man went to go report that he was domestically abused by a woman, they would laugh at him, dude. It would not go his way at all. If any, he might end up arrested.
You need to do, you know, do what it is that will help you. You know, for so long I was like, I can't really call him a rapist because he'll kill himself. Well, don't then, you know. I'm sorry, but don't and you'll.
You guys remember when that ghost cosplayer was accused of being a pedophile? And he wasn't a pedophile, and he fucking killed himself. That is why this level, like, why what she's saying right now is really a bad position. Okay? Because people abuse these things. This is why the internet shouldn't be where you run to first. You know? And again, I know that it's like, okay, well, the police aren't going to believe me, or the police are going to be bad. Or like they're not going to be, you know, there's going to be no bedside banter there. They're not going to be kind people. And that's true. There's a possibility of them being that way. There's also a possibility of them not being that way. You run online, and if you really, really want retribution and you want to see them put behind bars, you can't run online.
Be fine, you know. It's not a difficult thing. Most people get through life without doing it. And to think like abusers and rapists, they just get away with shit. They just get away with shit because. What? And
then it's like I know the police aren't a catch-all solution. I know that, but the internet isn't either, right? Because we've seen what it's like when you have mob rule do these things, and it makes the situation so much worse. I mean, like, should I even be sitting here talking about Kaiticlysm's personal life like this? No. I mean, it just ruins Kaiticlysm's credibility to her story by me sitting here and talking about it. I'm not discrediting the story, but me talking about it, period, may have a bunch of chatters sitting here going, "Oh, I guess that didn't happen."
Because they've got money again, because they're the victims, because people will see them and no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this boring bullshit. Now, this is the last time, hopefully, I'll ever talk about this specific user that I was with. I don't want to give him any more airtime. I don't want him to take any more of my life and my mental space, and even this YouTube channel, you know, started to come very heavily based off of an abusive relationship. And I get people may see that as you're not over it, but anyone that's been in an abusive situation will see. And I'm just trying to build closure in my life. I'm trying to build a way to move forward, to move.
If you talk to a therapist, this is exactly what they would say not to do, right? Like you're enabling, you know, negative feelings that you have about this, and then using it to justify negative behavior online.
On. But with
It's wild this woman attacked an innocent black man, then tried to silence his voice when he tried to speak out. She silenced the voice of her victim. Well, Danky has a platform, okay? Danky can't defend himself.
obviously helping women also deal with things. People always say to me, Kate, why are you still talking about it? Why are you still not over it? Because it sticks.
Slight devil's advocate insights. Abusive relationships kind of mess with your mind to the point where you have to repeat the events as a form of grounding. I think she just doesn't have friends to do that with. She shouldn't be trauma dumping online, obviously. Yeah, I mean, it's like if you have friends that you can go to them, man. But the internet, dude, I can't. I've learned to, even as a streamer, these past like year and a half I've been streaming, I've learned that I need to share less, right? Or there are things I shared with people I thought I was close with that I shouldn't have shared, right? And now I have people that I know it's appropriate and I can share those things with them, right? But it's like the internet should not be the first place you go.
With you, you know, I've had nightmares upon nightmares. I struggle in my personal life. I struggle in my
Oh my God, honey, girl, you need to go to therapy. Somebody crowdfund this woman's therapy right this instant.
intimate life. I ask myself every day, why did I do something to make me
Yeah, and then I don't know, man. She needs friends from all walks of life. Like Axis is saying, supposedly she has other abuse victims as friends. In fact, all this shit started because she's supposedly friends with I'm Alex's ex-partner. Yeah, I think like attracts like, and I think there might be a lot of maybe toxic reinforcing positivity associated with the people she's hanging out with. Based off of my experiences with Alex and the people that would hang around people like Alex, I would not be surprised if that was the case, where it's a lot of just reinforcing negative beliefs, because like attracts like.
that. It's something that you don't just get over, yeah? And I get it, there's trolls that are going to be in my comment section. Oh, I still hit though. Oh, are you still talking about it? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever, you know? Message of the video is don't sit at home thinking you can't speak about it. Then they're no one. They've got problems. They've got...
The issue with this is like, I just can't ever I personally, I can't ever justify saying you should come online and talk about your stories like that.
Problems within themselves, and honestly, the sooner you, and I'm talking to myself here too, the sooner you finalize things, the sooner you do what you need to do to help yourself.
Like, she's talking about it from a position as like she's kind of like figured it out. I worry the kind of like bad behavior this could encourage in other people, right?
I'll feel closure so you can start to heal the better, you know? And coming online and having a platform to talk about stuff is the best thing that's ever happened to me, and also the worst.
Eesh.
Obviously it comes with its ups and downs, but if I can use this platform that I have been so graciously given, I'm always going to use it to try and help people, because God...
I think if you're a commentary channel and your position is I'm trying to help people, you're in the wrong field. I used to have that belief when I was a much younger content creator, but you need to get out of that mindset. It is such a toxic mindset to have, right? Because you think you're making a difference in the world. And ultimately, no, I'm not. I just do fucking nonsense. This is all just nonsense. right? But when you have that belief that you're making a difference in the world, that's the worst, right? That's the worst because, like they say, the road to hell paved with good intentions. How is she helping sex workers by shaming them? Yeah. And I haven't seen it, but I would not be surprised to find out she's a TERF.
Also, you can report things to the police without fully wanting to take it anywhere, or you can take it somewhere. But often the police can direct you into, you know, the right direction of getting help.
Wow, look at all that. There's like services for this. That's amazing and great, actually. You should go to those.
And it's, yeah, I don't know. I can't sit here with these really angry feelings about stuff on.
Go, oh my god, this girl needs therapy so bad. I know you can't see her hands, right? But when she was like, here, I'll just play it back.
You know, the right direction of getting help. And it's, yeah, I don't know. I can't sit here with these really angry feelings about stuff on.
That when she's like looking down and playing with her hands, and she's like, I can't sit here with these really angry feelings and stuff. It's like, oh, like that's how I like this girl's like she needs something, like she just needs something.
Especially after International Women's Day, like, are you joking?
Get a journal, bro.
No, I'm not going to feel like this in my own home. And if I am going to have to feel like this.
Oh, Nar, I actually enjoy Kaiticlysm. What's she do? I think you might be new. I don't think I have the time to explain to you everything.
In my own home and feel
unmemeingly. That isn't for my own personal benefit. Yeah, I say that with love, bro. Like, what the fuck?
You know, distraught about any information I now know about someone that did bad stuff to me. I'm going to share that. Some people may disagree.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you want to tell the short end of it, accuse a black man of being a domestic abuser. And then a ginger twink ran a video on it and almost ruined a guy's career.
But I know how much it helps you guys. I know.
Needless to say, it's been a frequent reoccurrence in her personal life, along with her repeatedly talking about her abuse story.
How much it does. I see your messages. And again, I don't think I strive to have a parasocial relationship with my subscribers at all. You guys.
At least the ginger twink apologized, but she made the ginger twink take all the blame. Yeah, boy, oh boy. I wish Lewis was more honest. Well, the only things that Lewis hasn't been honest about is his feelings. I think he needs to just say his piece about Katie. And he just hasn't. And that's really the annoying part.
No, I don't with that. Unless this is considered parasocial. I don't know. I mean, if this is parasocial, then I guess I am parasocial, but...
This is parasocial. This is exactly what parasociality is.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I've got a massive fucking gob and I can't keep my mouth shut. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but I just can't.
She really should get therapy and move on, because I feel like she's keeping tabs on her ex and basically trying to outflank this guy, because I don't think she's attempted to move on at all. Yeah.
I'm gonna put loads of more links below, some more like after stuff to help you kind of heal or report them or whatever it is that you guys need. I'll link that below. Thank you for listening to my life update.
Oh my god, brother. Oh boy, Katie. Yeah, rough. That's rough.